Ever wonder what's in Wonder Bread? This stuff is garbage.
This bread brand contains microplastic.
There's no way bread should be able to last as long as it does for months on end. It's impossible.
Canada has some of the worst bread in the world, and there's one company that is disproportionately at fault.
Something big just hit the headlines in Canada. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency, CFIA, and Health Canada have issued a recall on multiple brands of bread from Wonder Brands Inc.
Hey Rant, a pretty big recall to let you know about impacting your bread because your bread might have chunks of metal in it.
If you are Canadian and eat bread, you could be in severe danger. 37 popular bread brands have been recalled across Canada.
The reason Canada is so demonized, it's impossible to buy bread that doesn't have added iron in it.
5 grams. 5 grams of sugar per slice, and the slices aren't even that big.
Why doesn't your bread ever mold? Because it was designed not to rot, even if you do.
Welcome to Canadian Rant, and today we're talking about something sitting in your kitchen right now. Something you probably fed your kids this morning. Something you've trusted your entire life. Bread. But once you hear this, you might never look at a loaf of Canadian bread the same way again. Because what we uncovered is not just disappointing, it's disturbing. We analyzed 12 of Canada's most popular bread brands. We dug through CFIA recall databases. We broke down ingredient lists line by line. And what we found is a corporate food scam hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the brands Canadians think they can trust. Wonder Bread. Dempster's. Names that have been in Canadian homes for generations. The packaging screams fresh, family, tradition. But here's the reality no one tells you. The first ingredient? Enriched wheat flour. That's refined white flour, stripped of nutrients, then sprayed with synthetic vitamins so it looks healthy again. Then comes glucose fructose. Yes, sugar. Then preservatives, dough conditioners, chemical stabilizers. And one ingredient in particular should make every Canadian pause. Azotocarbonamide. That chemical is used in yoga mats and shoe rubber, banned in the European Union, banned in Australia. But in Canada, perfectly legal, and fed to kids every single day. And nutritionally? 1 gram of fiber, over 200 milligrams of sodium, almost no real value, and here's the real slap in the face. This bread isn't even fresh. It's par-baked in factories, frozen, shipped across the country, and reheated in stores. So note, you're not buying fresh bread. You're buying a reheated industrial product. Now let's talk about the premium scam. Villaggio, Italian-style branding. Thicker slices, $5 price tag. Canadians think, okay, this must be better. Wrong. Same additives, same sugar, more sodium, the only difference. Bigger slices and better marketing. And guess what? Villaggio and Dempster's are owned by the same parent company. You're not choosing between brands, you're choosing between labels owned by the same corporation. The Canadian bread aisle is an illusion. Now let's talk about store brands. Great value, no name, compliments, cheaper bread, right? Here's the truth. Same ingredients, same factories, same production lines. If Walmart can sell bread for $2.47 and still make money, what does that tell you? It tells you the actual food costs pennies. The rest? Packaging, marketing, and profit. You're not paying for better food. You're paying for branding psychology. But it gets worse. Some of the healthier brands Canadians trust have had contamination recalls. Metal fragments, plastic pieces, quiet recalls, no headlines, no accountability. Ask yourself this. How does metal or plastic end up in bread? Broken machinery? Poor quality control, corners being cut, and yet these companies face zero real consequences. They keep selling, they keep profiting, and Canadians keep eating it, unaware. Now let's talk about the health lie. Whole wheat bread sounds better, right? Sometimes it is, but here's the trick. To make whole wheat taste like white bread, companies add more sugar and more salt. Some healthy breads have more sodium than white bread, and Canadians pay more for them, even though whole wheat flour is cheaper to produce. That's called the health markup. Charging more because they know you'll pay. So is there any bread worth buying? Yes, but it comes with honesty. Silver Hills Sprouted Power, $7 a loaf, organic, short ingredient list, no preservatives, and guess what? It goes moldy fast. And that's actually a good thing. Real bread doesn't last 3 weeks? Real bread doesn't need chemicals to survive. You're paying more, but you're paying for actual food. And that leads to the most uncomfortable question of all. If real bread costs $6.99, what exactly is $2.29 bread made of? The answer is simple. Cheaper ingredients, longer shelf life, lower nutrition. Canadians are saving money by trading their health. And here's the bigger problem. This isn't just bread. This is how the entire Canadian food system works. 2 or 3 corporations, dozens of fake choices, quiet recalls, record profits. While Canadians struggle to afford groceries, if the bread industry is this broken, what about dairy, meat, milk? That's what we're exposing next. Because what Canadians don't know is costing them more than money, it's costing their health. Welcome to Canadian Rant. Subscribe. Stay awake, and don't miss what's coming next.
Hey friend, a pretty big recall to let you know about impacting your bread because your bread might have chunks of metal in it. Ugh. So here's the deal. If you're in Ontario, Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador, and you have no name, President's Choice, Great Value, Italiano, or Country Harvest bread, it's in here. So check.
The reason Canada is so demonized, it's impossible to buy bread that doesn't have added iron in it. So you're literally just loading yourself with 10% iron RDA per slice of bread. If you could find bread without iron in it, comment down below.
If you are Canadian and eat bread, you could be in severe danger. 37 popular bread brands have been recalled across Canada from Wonder to Country Harvest because of dangerous metal shards. This is a full-blown safety nightmare. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is pulling products from stores in Ontario, Quebec, and Newfoundland and Labrador, and no one even knows how many shoppers were affected. Giant retailers like Costco and Loblaws have already pulled them off shelves, but did you check your pantry? If you bought bread from brands like Italiano, Great Value, or No Name recently, throw it out. Don't risk it. You could be eating something much worse than carbs. For a full list of affected products, check out the CFIA's official site.
Ever wonder what's in Wonder Bread? This stuff is garbage. You will find this everywhere. Everybody has this. This is the OG of white bread. People use this for PB&Js, toast, sandwiches. Ignore when it says nutritious. Enriched flours, so synthetic vitamins. There's sugar in here. Wheat, gluten, soybean oil, dough conditioners, sodium, sterile, what? Overall, just garbage ingredients. When you see white bread, that means they've bleached the wheat. Check out this list of some of the chemicals they use, including potassium bromate. With the bleach and the terrible ingredients, this is horrible for your body. Instead, check out the company Base Culture. They use almond flour, psyllium husk, and clean ingredients. And I personally love organic sourdough bread, which means the wheat is fermented, nutritious, and good for the gut. I usually find them at farmers markets. So choose the right bread and follow the channel for way more content.
Why doesn't your bread ever mold? Because it was designed not to rot, even if you do. That soft, fluffy loaf you bought 2 weeks ago? It's still perfect, thanks to a chemical called calcium propionate. It stops mold before it can even start. Sounds helpful, right? Except it's also linked to behavior changes, irritability, and gut inflammation. Some studies found it may trigger attention deficit hyperactivity disorder-like symptoms in kids, and in animals, it messes with metabolism and appetite. It's banned from certain foods in places like Denmark. But here, it's in your sandwich, your tortillas, your muffins, your pizza crust. So the next time your bread doesn't go fuzzy after a week, remember that's not normal. Drop a bread emoji in the comments if your bread has this ingredient. I want to know which brands we need to talk about next. Follow for more food ingredients they hope you never Google.
There's no way bread should be able to last as long as it does for months on end. It's impossible. Like if you actually got the wheat, made it yourself, and baked a piece of bread, it should go moldy in a week. If you enjoyed this clip and want to hear more, subscribe to the DC Talks podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
I will never buy this again. I came across an online conspiracy suggesting that this bread brand contains microplastics, and you can extract them by boiling the bread in water. To investigate, I boiled it for around 10 minutes and found something strange. I can't confirm if this is actually plastic, but is this suspicious?
not gonna lie, I've just made myself feel a little bit sick. I was just looking at the bread that I buy in Canada and how many grams of sugar it has in it, and 5 grams. 5 grams of sugar per slice, and the slices aren't even that big. I'm a little bit horrified and disgusted. I've just been away for the past 3.5 weeks, and this bread is over 3.5 weeks old. I came back, not one bit of mold. Not one tiny corner of mold. Bread looks good as new, ready to go. It actually makes me feel sick. Like, I was gonna have some scrambled egg on toast last night, and I just fully threw it in the bin and decided not to, because it just, all I could think of was the fact that this bread is nearly a month old and it has not one bit of mold on it. It's giving me the ick. It's giving me some serious ick right now. So yeah, I need to go get myself some bread from Cobb's Bread. So bye.
Several brands of bread and buns are being recalled due to pieces of metal in them. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency issued the recall for 37 products that were sold in Newfoundland and Labrador, Ontario, and Quebec. It includes all these bread products from Country Harvest, these hamburger buns from D'Italiano, these Great Value bread products, these no-name brand bread products and PC brand burger buns, and these Wonder brand breads, burger buns, and hot dog buns. Both Giant Tiger and Costco said that products in their recalls could be returned to stores for a full refund. A full list of the recalled products can be found on the Canadian Food.
Canada has some of the worst bread in the world, and there's one company that is disproportionately at fault. But first of all, what do I mean when I say we have the worst bread in the world? Well, we have a similar problem to America, where you have the commercialization of baking and the wonder breadification of the product, meaning we're eating a very low quality, commercially made product. But in Canada, thanks to a monopoly and a bread fixing scandal, we pay far more for it than anyone else does. Oh, but it didn't used to be like this. Back in the day, there was local bakeries in neighborhoods, and there was a pipeline of baking schools, good paying jobs, independent bakeries that people would go on. And it all came down to Tim Hortons. Because back in the day, Tim Hortons was a bake shop that hired actual bakers. They would hire them right out of school. They would put them on 1 to 2 year contracts, and they would even pay for your equipment so that when you finished doing your time at Tim's, you could take your skills and your equipment and you could open your own small independent bakery, which is what a lot of people did. But in 2003, Tim Hortons switched to a commercially produced model, meaning they have one giant factory on a mass scale making every donut in Canada, and individual shops would just take the frozen product, reheat it, and maybe shove some jelly inside. And then we end up with quality products like this that absolutely no one enjoys. When you're the largest coffee shop in Canada and you're basically right in the middle of this pipeline of skilled trade jobs providing an essential service to the community, fresh baked bread, and you just chop that pipeline, well, what happens is everyone else suffers. And other businesses do the exact same thing. They think, well, if Tim Hortons can serve frozen stuff, I can serve it too. And suddenly nobody's hiring any bakers anymore. Culinary schools have to close down their baking programs, and we are left with some of the worst bread in the world.
Okay, so I come on the bread. I usually don't buy this bread, but it tells you whole wheat, flour, water, sugar, yeast, salt. That's what I understand. Some vegetable oil is okay. Then come up to these. Calcium, vegetables. Yes, okay. Sodium. Then another. Sorbic acid. Then another acid. Then another acid, which is a 3 kind of acid in the regular bread. Okay, what kind of regular bread? It can contain 3 different acids. It's just a bread. Flour, salt, water.
Something big just hit the headlines in Canada. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency, CFIA, and Health Canada have issued a recall on multiple brands of bread from Wonder Brands Inc., due to possible metal shards found in some products. This has really caused a stir among independent grocery stores. Gary Sands, who is the Vice President of Government Relations for CFIG, Canadian Independent Grocers Federation, had quite a reaction to how CFIA handled the situation. CFIG represents over 6,900 independent grocery retailers and provides them with educational programs and advocacy. Gary was super disappointed. He reached out to CFIA and was told it wasn't considered a high-risk situation. But to me, this is a huge headache. Metal in food is always high risk. Despite the official statement, it's clear that both the industry and the public are treating this as a full recall for bread products. The government website explicitly states that all brands of bread and rolls containing metal shards are being recalled due to potential health risks.
This bread came all the way from a fan in Canada. Actually, it's not a fan, it's a brother. It's like a brother to me. But yes, this bread came all the way from him. And he was like, hey, I saw your comment in your comment section from your last bread and egg video. And someone said you should test this bread. I also think you should test it. So yes, I am bringing this bread to you. So son of Additives, shout out to you, buddy. Thank you very much for bringing this to me. Actually, the sugar squad is really out there. Thank you very much, my people. So this is not just any other kind of bread. This is the brioche style bread. It's the Italiano. Apparently, Nigerians here in Canada love this bread. They love this bread so because they think that it replicates our bread back home for us, and it's really nice. So we'll test it out. So they want me to test it and see its impact on my sugar. So we'll test it out and see its impact on my sugar.
Come with me as I make the meanest, simplest omelette eggs for you. We got 3 eggs. Crack the eggs, people, crack the eggs. Add a bit of black pepper, a pinch of salt, or maybe 2. Chili flakes. Wicks this, baby, wicks this. Now we are frying with butter. And this is where the magic happens. Pour in the eggs, and then we have it ready for us to digest. So now we have it for us to give up. Let's go, people. We've got 4 slices of bread added to it. And yes, total damage. 850 kilocalories, in which we have 99.5 grams of carbs. We've got 18 grams of protein, 36 grams of fat, and probably 18 grams of sugar.
Let's check our sugar before the first bite. This is my fasting sugar. This is my first meal for the day. I always say that so that at least you know, have the context. So my sugar reading today is 6.2 millimoles per liter. I think I just took a screenshot. It will be showing somewhere on the screen around here as well. So yes, that's 6.2 millimoles per liter. Now, let's go see if this bread is really as sweet as they say it is, or it's very good for we diabetics. So the people that said that we should test brioche bread. Yes, so now we are testing the brioche bread with 3 eggs. We've got 3 eggs here, fried almost like the last one we did. Although I need to say that these slices look a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger than the previous bread that we tested. But yeah, it's brioche bread. Let's test it. Actually, the texture feels like regular Niger bread. Very soft. Okay. Let's check this out, people. Yeah. Yes. It's soft. It feels like there's extra butter inside it, like extra butter. Now, I see why people like it. It's very, very soft. It feels like, you know when Agege bread is very hot and it's always soft. You know that stuff. But when imagine Agege like that very soft, then now has extra butter inside it. Now, you know those bread now. I think that's why Nigerians love it. So I'll see you guys again in another 2 hours. So we can look at the results together. Till then, have fun, people. Yeah. So my people, welcome back. Now, before we had the meal, my sugar reading was 6.2 millimoles per liter, like I showed you earlier, right? Well, this is 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours after I had the bread and egg. And drum roll, please. Yes. My sugar reading is 11.4 millimoles. That is almost double. Like, really, that is almost double. Now, for those that said I should test brioche bread, now you've seen now. Now, it looks yummy. It looks well buttery, super duper soft, but it packs a punch for your glucose. So if you're diabetic and you're eating brioche bread, you probably want to reduce the number of slices from 4 slices maybe to just 2 slices, or even just 1 slice, and take it with maybe something that is with a lot of veggies and the likes. But really, brioche bread is beautiful. It tastes so good. It's very soft, but it packs a huge punch from a glucose perspective. So now, of course, comparing this with our previous bread and egg video, whereby we ran from just 7.1 to 9.7, which was just a mere less than 2.5 spike. Whereas for this is almost double. The previous bread, of course, we got it from Cobb's bread. So it looks like it's the bread from Cobb's is pretty healthy. Now, Cobb's bread, if you're watching this, hit your boy up. Let me see some of your breads and other meals you have that you want me to test, because we might actually be able to partner together and recommend some good breads for folks out there. So yeah, so with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that bread can be good for we diabetics. Like I always preach that as a diabetic, you can eat anything you want. Portion control is just key. Now, so like I just said, I didn't say stop eating brioche bread, but if you're diabetic, instead of 4 slices, you probably just want to take 1 slice or 2 slices maximum. And you still have to test that because readings will definitely differ. So, my people, what would you like me to test next? Drop a comment in the comment section. Did this reading surprise you, especially my folks here in Canada, from East Coast to the West Coast? Did this reading surprise you? Give me your comments in the comment section. And for those that asked me to test, well, share this with your folks, right? Especially those that are diabetic. Till my next video, my name is Tunde, your sugar daddy, and you're welcome to the Sugar Squad. Cheers.
This video is created for educational and awareness purposes only. The content reflects my personal experience and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or replace professional medical advice. Reference to any foods or brands are not endorsements or criticisms. All product names, logos, and brands are property of their respective owners. This video is created for educational and awareness purposes only. The content reflects my personal experience and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or replace professional medical advice. Reference to any foods or brands are not endorsements or criticisms. All product names, logos, and brands are property of their respective owners.
This bread